got to go on TV for those game shows and stuff too, and like Red Sox and all kinds of things I got to do.
Yeah. Wow. A lot of family-friendly stuff around this area. So did you see them that season that they beat the Yankees for their?
I haven't gone in a long time, but I used to go to all those things often.
Okay.
All kinds of things, hockey games, baseball games,
Celtics games.
basketball games. I see it all.
Yeah.
Globetrotters,
Patriots.
football games. I used to go to everything. You know, one time I wasn't supposed to sit behind home plate though. I was supposed to sit in the bleachers.
Yeah.
And so I got my pass, and this is a long time ago. And the kids that you ever go downstairs around where all the gates are?
Oh, in Fenway?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Fenway yet.
Well, downstairs there's gates where they section off the different sections where you sit.
Okay.
It gets more expensive as it gets all the way around to home plate.
Okay.
And so I kept showing my pass to the kids at the gate, and they kept letting me through. I got all the way to home plate. Then I wasn't supposed to. They weren't supposed to let me back there. So I got all the way to home plate. Then I came up, and I sat down, and I was like, wow, this is nice. You know? I'm sitting right behind. There's no, you're right there.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, the batter is like, see that lady right? That's the batter.
Wow.
I was like right there. I was like, wow, this is great. It's like 3D TV. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this is great. So the batter's right there. I'm watching the baseball game. My tickets would have been like out of sight. You know, I probably could have bought a car for those. What those tickets cost, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm watching the game, and then every time the usher, I guess you'd call it, or the person that sits people,
Yeah.
every time that kid come around to show somebody where their seats were, I had to get up and move around just in case I was in their seat, you know?
Okay.
And then when the guy left, the people sat down, I got to sit down again, you know? So then I'm sitting, so then when I see the guy coming, you know, with somebody to show where the seat, I have to get up, you know, and then wait till they sit down, and then he goes away, and then I get to sit down. After a while, he stopped coming around.
Oh, okay.
You know, after the game started and everything was settled. So then I got to sit and relax and watch the game.
Wow. From that view,
I got to sit it right behind home plate.
Wow. That's so nice. Who were they playing?
Expensive seats.
I bet. Who were they playing that day?
You know how many years ago that was? 40 years ago.
Wasn't sure. Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember anything. I just remember that day.
When's the last time you went to a Red Sox game?
A long time ago.
Okay. Before they won the series in 2002 or 3.
I don't do sports anymore. I used to follow everything.
Oh, okay.
Boxing and all kinds of things. You know?
Yeah.
I used to go to concerts.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do everything when I was younger, but I don't do all that stuff anymore. Once you get older and you start working your life away, then you don't have time to do all those things anymore.
Oh, man.
How old are you?
Guess.
20-something?
Oh, thanks. I'm 31.
31?
Yeah. So, luckily,
I'm old enough to be your father.
Yeah, I bet. Still look young, though. I'm from Florida, and luckily my job is giving me a good amount of holiday leave, so I wanted to come check out Boston.
Oh, that's why you never been around before.
Yeah.
What part of Florida?
Thank you. Northwest Florida. So that's like...
Oh, the Panhandle?
Yeah, the Panhandle. Yeah. So, decent beaches, not much else. Military base. So...
I've been to Florida once, and it was down southern Florida, Miami.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miami-Dade. And then I rented a car, and I drove to the Everglades, and I drove
Oh, that's cool.
all the way to Key West.
All right.
I got to see all the Keys.
Yeah.
You know? It was
That's cool.
beautiful down there.
I hate Miami, but the Keys are nice.
You know, also, I see where your foot is?
Yeah.
I was that close to alligators bigger than my car. Live. Loose. I was walking around in the Everglades.
They could have came out and just
They could have
snatched you.
ate me. I would have been an appetizer for this.
And you were just walking around?
They're walking around in the swamp, in the Everglades, loose. And I was walking around loose.
Were you with other people? Or?
No, I was with my girlfriend. That was it.
And your girlfriend was cool with that?
She's ever seen? She's from New Hampshire.
So she's walking around with you?
Yeah.
And there's alligators like they could just rip you out.
Yep.
She didn't freak out?
I was nervous. I don't know if she was nervous or not, but I was freaking nervous.
I don't know if I could have done that.
They were walking around loose, huge.
Yeah.
I mean, huge.
That's
They had tails, like dinosaur tails. You ever see an alligator up close, live?
Only at the zoo.
Well, this is not zoo. This was live.
I never seen one live.
And they can run 30 miles an hour.
Oh, so it would have been game over. Like
so you don't even try to run. You'll just die tired. You know? Don't even try to run. So, like,
That's
just
crazy.
stay calm and,
try to.
you know, and just don't run. Whatever you do.
I heard that the only way
If you
to
run, you might startle them and they make them even more startled.
I see. I heard the only thing you can do, I don't know if it's alligators or crocodiles, is if you get lucky, if they're attacking you, hold their mouth shut if you get lucky. Because they actually have a difficult time opening their mouth. But their strength closing it is, you're gone.
Exactly. All their strength is closing, and they don't have any strength to open.
I see.
Exactly. But how are you going to do that?
Yeah. And there's several of them.
If you're on top of him, how much do you weigh? A little over 100 pounds?
Yeah, right?
They're like 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So all he has to do with his head is just go like this, and you're gone.
Yeah.
They'll flip you right off of him.
And then
You know, in order to hold him down, there has to be like 10 people on top of him. You know, you know what I mean? And then the other person holding his mouth shut, and then you can only last for a certain amount of time before you get tired. And then once you get tired, you let go.
You're done.
You're appetizer. You know?
And that's just one of
You're
them.
not even going to fill him up.
Yeah.
He's huge.
That's scary.
He's huge. He could. That alligator was so big, he could have ate all four of us. You know, I'm telling you, you would have been appetizer for it. There's not enough meat on you to satisfy him. He would have had to eat the rest of us. You know? I'm telling you, it was after I didn't purposely walk up to him. I didn't see him because he was blacker than your shoes and he was in the mud. And so I didn't see him at first. So that's why I walked right up to him. And then
you're like,
because that's what they do is they hide and they camouflage themselves and everything, and so that the deer and stuff can come by and then they eat them, you know. So I didn't see him. I walked right up to him and I'm like, I go, "You see an alligator?" She said, "Yeah, there's one right by your leg." And I look right down and there he is. I see his eye, his eyes. You know the way they move their eyes like this, you know?
Yeah.
They don't move their head.
They just
their eyes.
move their eye.
They don't want anything to see them. Because if they move their head, then they might scare away some prey or something. You know what I mean? So
you see his
they
eyes.
can run 30 miles an hour, but maybe like a deer might be able to run 40, 50 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't want something to get away.
Right.
And plus, they say if you're running, run zigzag, because they can't run zigzag that good. They can run straight 30, but they can't do this at 30 miles an hour. And you know the way animals like to zigzag.
Right.
You ever see a squirrel run across the street?
Right.
Squirrel runs across the street, then all of a sudden he's going this way.
Right.
That's their natural instincts to survive. Is they, because lots of things can't keep up with them because they're so quick. When they're running zigzag and run up a tree or something, the things can't catch them. But the thing that squirrels don't understand is that cars can't zigzag like them either. So if you're already across the street, then they stupidly run back across the street. And that's when they get hit. Because they already made it across the street, but they see a car coming, which is like a predator to them, so they zig back cross the street, and that's when the car runs them over. They already made it across, and then they got to run back. Or sometimes they'll be running across the phone lines or something, and they slip.
Oh.
They fall down, and the car runs them over.
I never seen that. They slip? I didn't know they slip.
You know what a Canadian geese is? Canadian goose? Geese? Canadian geese?
No.
They're huge.
They're really big geese?
You know what a geese? Goose?
Canadians really big?
Canadians are really big. And up in Hampshire, they're bigger. The closer you get to Canada, the bigger they get.
Cool.
I was on Route 93 one day, and I'm driving south, and this Canadian geese, he must have had like a 5-foot wingspan. I have a camper, a big camper. It looks like a Greyhound bus. And I'm driving it down Route 93, and all of a sudden, this big Canadian goose just dropped right in front of me. You know, he flew by, but for some reason he landed right in front of me. And I never seen him coming, because if he came this way, I don't have a sunroof. So if something comes like this, I don't get to see it until it's in front of my windshield. You know what I mean? I can't see what's above me.
Right.
So I'm driving along, and all of a sudden he just came right down in front of my windshield, opened his wings, and he landed right underneath my bumper and I ran him over.
Oh my God.
I felt this thump, and that was it. It was over. I couldn't swerve because he flew right under my bumper. You know what I mean? It wasn't like he landed on the road and I got to go around him. He came right down under my bumper. He flew right under my van, under my camper.
That's crazy.
You won't do that again.
That's funny.
I didn't mean to do it. He committed suicide, you know?
Kamikaze. Yeah.
But the way he flew right under my bumper, he flew clean under my bumper, so my grill didn't hit him. So there was no blood or nothing on no blood, guts, feathers, nothing on my RV, because I checked. There's not a trace of it. He went clean under it.
Hopefully quick and painless.
I hope so. He was a big one.
Yeah.
He was a big one. It startled me because he was so big, you know?
Yeah. So
what, you fly up here? You took a plane up here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I flew.
You stay with relatives up here?
No, by myself.
Really?
I got a friend in Vermont. I will see on Saturday, but I'm staying here.
So you just stay in a hotel somewhere?
Bed and breakfast. MIT students that just open, to strangers.
Wow.
Yeah, I want to check out MIT for sure.
MIT, you say?
Yeah. I went to Georgia Tech. I would have loved to have gone to MIT.
I took a course at MIT.
Oh, cool. Really cool. Really cool. Okay. What do you do for a living, sir?
I'm a sheriff now.
No, okay.
I took a marksmanship course at MIT.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You know how many years ago?
20. 30. 20.
30.
No.
Like 31, 32 years ago. Long time ago.
Before I was born.
Any questions about athletics? Or anything?
That's cool.
And there's the MIT tennis team plays other teams, probably.
Yeah. The tennis team, just like the football team.
So, I was going to ask, between this is such a great sports tradition here in Boston.
Anyway,
between Celtics, Patriots, and Red Sox, which one of the three stadium or things is closest? Is it Fenway's closest, and then
To here?
Yeah, to this area.
I guess Fenway.
Fenway, and then probably the Celtics.
14. Any other guesses?
Were they?
Oh, you know what? No, I think this.
So the closest guess is 14. It's only
The TD Garden, you mean?
Is that what's called?
The TD Garden?
That's what's called? Okay, I didn't know. Yeah, TD Garden. Okay, cool.
That's pretty close.
Okay, so those are two.
I'm gonna guess that the TD Garden is close first,
Then Fenway.
then the Fenway Park will be second.
And then the Patriots is what, Foxborough?
Getting like moving out, getting all the stuff out of
That's like an hour or so.
That's like in the middle of the state.
Oh, that's like way away.
So she's been letting in the
Okay, so New England, it's like out there. Okay. Oh, okay. I guess I won't be seeing that.
Also behind me, behind these trees, there's a big brick.
I don't have a rental car, so I'm trying to pack everything in through
That's
transit.
Baker House. I actually lived in that dorm for 3 years. And the reason there's a staircase on this side is running out of here. So on the other side of that building is the street. And 10 feet
Yeah,
across
it's pretty spread out.
the Boston skyline. So when Alvarez designed that building, he wanted as many rooms as possible to face the river.
Yeah.
So he put the stairs on this side, he put the lounges on this side, he put the bathrooms on this side, he put the
Yeah.
utility closets on this side. He put everything he could on this side so that 88% of the rooms face the river. Now my freshman
It's
year,
a little too hot for me down in Florida. I've gotten a little tired of it, so I'm definitely moving north.
That's Baker House. So left of that, there's two lighter colored towers.
Where have I been in the world? Italy, when they won the World Cup back in 2006. Several cities there.
And then to the right of Baker,
Florence,
we have a whole bunch of
Rome,
dorms in a
several
row,
other
which is
ones,
very
Naples.
cleverly called dorm row.
Lived
Each of the
near
dorms has a different feel to
Lake
it.
and Heath,
Some
England.
of them are lots of singles, some of them are suite style, some of them are cultural houses like French house,
saw
Spanish house, German
different
house.
parts of England.
And the summer before you come here,
That's
you
it,
get
international.
a
Well,
booklet
Canada,
of what each
Vancouver.
dorm has to say about itself.
Been there. That
And
was-
you get
oh, that was
a
amazing.
DVD that has a video that a short video that each dorm has made, and you get
Yeah.
to kind of rank your dorms.
And
based
that's
on
it.
where you think that you'll
And then
fit
in the
best.
States, I've
When
done
you get here,
San
you get assigned to one of your
Francisco,
dorms, or one of the
Oregon,
dorms, right?
Seattle,
And then, however, if you
New
get to the
York,
dorm, you say, oh, this isn't really what I thought it was. I don't really feel as comfortable as I thought I would.
New Orleans,
You actually
Atlanta,
get reassigned a
Orlando,
lot of
Tampa,
dorms, so you can start your
Miami,
process
the
before you get
Keys.
assigned to a different city. So you get two chances to find somewhere where you really feel like you belong and everybody really does. Any
No, I
questions?
want to. Yeah,
The second one is that
have
it's only
you?
held up by 3 points on the entire
been
structure.
to
The one's right here, one's behind
Oh,
me,
cool.
and one's on the other side of the building.
Been
So if you were to knock down the glass on all sides of this building, it would still stand because it's
Oh,
only held
Paris,
up
yeah.
by those 3 points. Now, this is where any big speakers will come to speak. For example, my senior year, I got to see the Dalai Lama speak in here. My freshman year, I think Barack Obama was here. My sophomore year, Bill Gates was here, etc., etc. It's also where any big acapella concerts will be held, or any big MIT wind ensemble or Symphony Orchestra
Oh, that's cool.
concerts.
Have you been to Georgia at all?
Also, for example, the MIT South Asian American
Through it.
students put on a
Gotcha.
show every April, and my sophomore year I was in it, so I got to get my Indian dance on in front of 1,200 people. So I don't know how well that went, but it was a lot of fun. So that's Kresge Auditorium. Also below Kresge, we have a smaller theater, which we call Kresge Little Theater. It seats about 200 people, and that's where smaller productions will be held. For example, dance groups will perform there, or MIT Shakespeare Ensemble, or drama shop, things like that.
We better not break
Any
down around
questions?
here. We'd be dead before somebody
Okay,
finds us.
so anybody notice
You know,
anything strange
It
about
is
that
kind of
building?
bad there in parts of the
Yeah, there are no
southeast, but
windows.
even
There's
worse
no
than that
windows
would be
because there's
Texas.
actually a moat around the bottom.
Texas.
And so on a sunny day, not like
Yeah,
today,
I'm
the sun
planning
will
a trip to
come, hit the water
Austin
in the moat,
because
bounce up
Austin
through
is a
little
really
arches
cool
you see at the
city,
bottom and actually
and
light up
the
buildings
university
below.
is where I
So inside,
wanted to
bricks
go,
are
but I
kinda
ended up
wavy, so it looks almost like
at
liquid
UCF
bricks.
for my
Really, really
master's.
pretty.
But anyway,
But anyway, that is the
Texas,
MIT
I
chapel.
heard,
It's an
like,
interfaith
don't break
chapel with all
down
sorts of
some
different
random
religions
road
and
in
denominations
Texas
that have services
because the
in there.
heat
And it's also right next to
and
the
then
MIT
just
Religious Services building, which is where a lot of
endless
the
road, like nothing to see out there.
organizations will have their offices.
At least there's
Any
trees and
questions?
cover in Georgia, parts of Georgia, or farm. It's not blazing
That
hot.
was added later. I'm not sure what it was, but it was added like 2 years after.
Farms, yeah.
That was
Any other
about 16 years ago that I was down, made that trip.
Not lucky.
No, not much has changed in the country land of
Because
Georgia.
MIT
But it
backwards.
was about
We're so clever. Anyway, so Tim the Beaver shows up at a lot of
About
different
4 or 5
events
years
around
ago when I
campus.
went to
He also
Florida.
always shows up on our
Oh,
class
okay.
rings. Now, a lot of other schools,
One of
so
my
once you
friends
get a
just
senior, when you get your class ring, when you're graduating, you get your ring, it
Yeah.
kind of makes sense,
Okay.
right? However, at MIT, the
I do
philosophy
there,
is if you make it through 2 years of MIT, you're going to make it through 4 years of MIT. So we actually get our rings at the end of our sophomore year. These rings are a big deal here. I'm wearing mine today. People wear these every day.
They
And
said
so,
they had enough for the winters up
every
here.
year, the committee is dedicated solely to deciding what will be on that year's ring. And every year in February, all the sophomores congregate in Kresge, and they find out what will be on their ring. It's called Ring Premiere. And then every year in May, there's ring delivery, where all the sophomores will dress up and go to some big
Might
place
go
in
visit
Boston,
them,
like
maybe?
Fenway Park, or the State House, or the Boston Public Library, or the courthouse, or things like that. and they will go in and literally just get their rings and take pictures with each other. That is the entirety of the event.
Okay, so you got to do
so
the
these
other.
rings are a big deal here. And so,
So I still have a lot of the places.
these are a big deal here. Any
It's
questions?
expensive to travel around the world.
You got to pick and choose, yeah.
So I want to see everything on my list first before I start repeating.
Yeah.
You know.
What's the things you look forward to the most on your list? Still.
Well, I want to see the Grand Canyon. I want to. You've been in a helicopter?
They do a really good job of kind of pulling it up into different milestones each week. And I think you have to finish the thing. By the end of the semester, you have this robot that you build completely by yourself. You designed it, you build it.
Oh, you guys do. Okay.
That's cool. Really cool and really rewarding. This is a really good example of MIT's motto, which is
Right over Niagara Falls.
because this class requires you to take everything you learned in your other classes, so everything in your
That's really cool.
putting it to good use with your hands by building a robot, right?
I just
You make
forgot
up
where my car is.
So anyway, mind in hand. Another really good example of this mind in hand philosophy is MIT's Grow Program for undergraduate research opportunities program.
Oh.
So a lot of other schools that want to be a junior or senior research over at MIT, you can get all the research.
Oh, you get it.
You just have to email the professor and say, hey, I'm really interested in the work that you're doing. Maybe you'll want to undergraduate work in your lab this semester. If you email
I wish I could emulate the Boston accent. I never heard people talk this way.
That's also very cool.
The way I'm talking?
Yeah, it's so interesting.
You know, when I drove down to North Carolina, I forget what state I was in. Like,
probably what you find. This
could have
first
been North
graduation
Carolina,
happened,
could have been
rain or
Delaware,
shine. It was
somewhere down
pouring
there.
during my graduation.
I went into
We
a
were still sitting
Papagino's.
right here, graduating.
And I said to the
This is
girl,
also where convocation happens, where all the freshmen come
what
together
I
for the first
wanted,
time.
and then I said,
This is
I'll
also
have,
where a lot of hacking happens.
some
Now, when I say
tonic.
hacking, I
You know
don't
what
mean
tonic is?
people going into
No.
the internet and stealing
She
credit
didn't
card
either.
information and messing
So
things
she
up.
looks
That's
at
not what
me,
hacking means
and
at
she
MIT.
said,
At
"Tonic?
MIT,
What's
hacking
tonic?"
just means pulling random
And I
pranks just
said,
for the
"It's
fun
that
of it."
machine
Let me
right
give you an
behind you.
example. In May of 1994, the MIT police
Which is, they
had
call
been
it
getting
soda
students
or
parking
pop
tickets.
or-
Students weren't very happy
what?
about this. So they
But
decided
up
to do
here
something
they
about
call
it.
it
So one
tonic.
morning, everybody woke up and turned on the news. The news
I
showed
have a
this beautiful
real
panoramic
strong
of the Boston
Boston
skyline,
accent.
which is right
Everything
behind
I
you.
say
Then
is
it turns around and
Boston.
shows this beautiful panoramic of the
And
Cambridge skyline and says,
so
wait a
they-
second,
she
something's
didn't
wrong
know-
on
she
the
had
MIT
not a
dome.
clue what I was
So they
talking
zoom in on the
about.
dome because there's some kind of lights going off or
What do you
something, and
call
they see
like
that
the
there's an
things on
MIT
top of
police
an
car
ice
parked
cream?
on top of
Sprinkles?
the dome.
Jimmy's?
So
yeah,
the news was
sprinkles.
pretty amused because they had a
Yeah, they
story,
call
right?
them
MIT
Jimmy's
police
up
car
here.
on dome.
Jimmy's?
The students were pretty amused because they could
Tonic
say, hey,
and
look,
Jimmy's.
the police there, isn't that funny?
Man, that sounds like drugs or something. I don't know. Man.
Around here they call them Jimmy's,
So
but
they
down
go
there
through
they
your list
call
of
them
squad cars,
Sprinkles.
either going out to the lot to make sure the car's
That's
still
something
there,
else.
or radioing the person
But
in
tonic,
the car.
I mean, I thought y'all called it maybe soda pop or pop or something. Y'all call it tonic?
They have all of their cars. So,
I have to tell
an
my
MIT
friends
police
about
car
that.
had not
That's
been
interesting.
stolen and put on the dome. An MIT police car had been built and put on the dome.
Everywhere in the
And it
world
wasn't
has
just
their
the
own
outside of the car
way
that
in.
had been built. If you looked inside, in the front seat, there was a big blow-up doll in a cops uniform. He was holding a cup of coffee in one hand and a box of Dunkin' Donuts in the other. There was also a sticker on the back that said, I break for
Even
donuts.
north,
The spot number
they
on the car
talk
was
different.
Y. There were fuzzy dice hanging from the rearview mirror,
make
and
fun of the
on
way
the
I
windshield
talk.
there was a parking ticket
my
that said no
friends from
permission
New
to
York,
park here.
they make
We got a
fun of
parking
the way I
ticket for
talk.
Oh,
parking
New
on the
Yorkers.
dome.
So I make fun of the way
Anyway,
they talk.
that's just one example of the
And
hacking
sometimes
here, but different things have happened to the dome over the years.
Mimic.
For example,
I'll
when
be
the sixth Harry
talking the
Potter
way
was
they
originally
do,
came
where
out,
I'm
it
gonna
became
be
the
just
one ring
making fun of them,
for a
and they
couple
just
days.
act normal,
During
like as if I'm
Halloween,
not
it'll
even
sometimes become
saying
a pumpkin,
anything,
sometimes it'll be
different,
like
because I'm
light
talking the way they talk.
In New York.
When Star Wars Episode 1 came out,
Instead of
does
saying
anyone want to
talk,
guess
they
what
say
it became?
talk.
Talk.
You know, talk.
Not a lightsaber. What's
Death
it look
Star?
like? Not the Death Star. The whole thing. Not just the
War.
top. R2D2.
Oh,
Yeah.
R2D2.
It was R2D2 for a couple days. So,
You know,
there are different things that happen to the dome over
you know,
the
I
years,
say
and
I'm
this is not
walking
looked
my
down
dog.
upon by administration or anything.
Which
It's
still
just
sounds
part of
different to
the
me.
You know, they say I'm walking my door.
Any questions? The Ellen Swallow Richards lobby, if you can see over there. Ellen Swallow Richards is also across the
That
room.
cracks me up.
That's the Brooklyn accent.
Brooklyn,
She was
yeah.
the first woman to
I've
graduate
heard
from
that,
MIT.
yeah.
You
She
say
graduated
Boston.
in
I say
1973.
Boston.
Remember, we started classes in 1965, so just 8 years after we started having
What'd you
classes,
think of the
we
southern
graduated.
accents? Did you hear any?
You know,
Florida has.
I was imitating the Southerners to my friends. We went into a school down there.
Where were
She
you?
also was really interested in the purity
In
of
Georgia?
water, so she did a lot of
Did you
work
call
on
them
that.
Southerners?
She was a woman very, very dedicated to her
That's
work.
true though for you.
So,
I guess they're southerners.
North Carolina.
I got you. They are kind of south.
We go in the store.
Yeah.
I hear.
So if you're wondering how far women have come to MIT since then, nowadays about 46% of undergrad students are women, about 32% of graduate students are women, and about 8%
And then she said, and the other person says, it's over there, you know. And the other one says, well, I don't see any. You know, and they're talking like this. Well, so I'm imitating them to my friends. My friends are cracking up. You know.
Y'all have any?
You all have any apple juice?
Apple juice?
You know, up here you'd say, do you have any apple juice? We would say, do you all have any apple juice?
Y'all have any apple juice? That's pretty funny.
So they were cracking up. I was imitating.
Yeah, as strong as their accents are, I think stronger are some southern Georgia and southern Alabama. If you've heard southern Alabama accents, it's really southern drawl, like strong accents. Florida doesn't have, the deeper south you go in Florida, the less accent you get. But northern Florida, close to Alabama, you get a lot of that. It's funny. I say y'all too.
You know, when I was down in Miami, they didn't really have accents down.
Yeah, they don't really, yeah.
I didn't notice any. I got fit right in.
They probably notice yours some.
I fit right in down there.
Yeah.
It was mostly, I was right on the ocean, so it's mostly
Tourists.
Right. Yeah. Not the Floridians, they call them.
Right.
So they call them Bostonians up here.
Yeah.
And they call the people from New Hampshire, New Hampshireites.
That's what they call them? Hampshireites, huh?
Hampshireites.
All right.
And we're Bostonians. And you're Floridian.
Yeah.
Everywhere has their own thing. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just in Vancouver. You've seen Canada and you've heard their accents. But Vancouver was cool. I really like that area. I didn't know they had a beach up there. I think in one photo in Vancouver, I saw snow-capped mountains, skyscrapers, forest park where people were biking, cruise liners going up to Alaska in the harbor, sailboats, and then beach with bikinis, women in bikinis.
They have beaches everywhere in the world.
I had no idea.
They have beaches in Alaska.
I had no idea.
You don't want to go to them in the winter.
Yeah.
You know, but everywhere has beaches.
I just didn't know that.
Different times of the year is when they're active.
When they're good. Yeah. That's cool.
You know, down in Florida, you think 60's cold, huh?
Yeah.
Try 40 below zero. You know, you don't want to go to New Hampshire in the winter then.
Yeah. That's
to
right.
Me, I'd be swimming at 60 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
I've gone swimming in New Hampshire in the ocean on Halloween. Cold.
Yeah.
But I done it. In the ocean.
Wow.
So, I mean, I would have been like suntanning down in Florida at 60. That's hot to me.
Yeah. It's getting too hot for me. We had our first ice storm just 3 months back in February. It iced over, which hadn't happened in 25 years.
Down in Florida.
In my part of Florida, iced over. I'd never seen that before. And then a month later, we had a nasty, nasty flood storm. Flood was so bad it like buried Pensacola, and sinkholes opened up in the ground in like 8 different places throughout our town. That's really bad. But yeah, on my bucket list is to see the Rolling Stones, and I want to see them in Australia because they're currently touring Australia, but I don't know if I will.
They were in Boston not that long ago.
Really? Gosh. That sucks. I missed them. Oh.
In fact, one of them used to live in Alston.
Really? One of the Rolling Stones?
Right over the river.
Really?
And he had a concert not that long ago, right in front of his house.
What?
Out in the street. They blocked the whole neighborhood off.
One of the Rolling Stones did?
Yeah. He had a concert right outside.
In what part of the town? Or was it?
Alston.
Alston?
Alston.
Alston.
Which is right over the line.
Oh.
In Boston.
In Boston, okay.
This is Cambridge.
Right.
Right over the line in Alston. It was Alston or Brookline. Maybe it was Brookline. Right over the line.
Okay.
Right there. Everybody knew about it, obviously. So the whole neighborhood was blocked off, no cars, because there was a million people out there. It was free.
What? Was it the whole Stones? All the Stones, or just him and his?
Go.
Oh, okay.
I don't do that stuff anymore. When I was younger, I used to.
Yeah.
But I used to drive a motorcycle when I was younger.
Yeah.
And I used to drive all over. I used to have lots of concerts in Boston.
Yeah.
And I used to go to them all the time.
I bet. Yeah.
And it was fun. In the Boston Common, they have concerts in the summertime. Oh, they used to have concerts. I don't know if they still do. And they fence off. They put a tall fence around the area where the people are playing. And you just buy tickets and you get to get in and see all these groups.
All these groups, yeah.
Play. And I got to see a lot of famous people play there.
That's cool.
And I used to be able to just get a motorcycle, drive it in between a couple of cars, shut it off, and go in. And
Nice.
you know, I didn't have to drive around for 6 hours looking for a parking space.
Right.
So I got to see a lot of famous people.
Cool.
I got to see Marvin Gaye.
That's cool. Wow.
He died in 1983.
Wow.
And I got to see his last concert. That he did
What?
before he died.
Whoa. Wow. I didn't know he died when I was 1 year old. Interesting.
He died in 1983, and I'll never forget that because I was in a motorcycle accident that year too, and I almost died.
Whoa.
So that's how come I know. I'll never forget that.
Marvin
Because
Gaye.
I almost died the same year that he died.
Wow.
His father shot him.
Right. Yeah. That's sad.
His father was a minister.
That's crazy. I didn't know that part. That's crazy.
But everybody was in shock when that happened.
Yeah.
I got a screw in my wrist.
Oh yeah. From that accident.
Yeah, I got knocked out. My bike got totaled, and I broke this bone in my leg.
Good lord.
I got like scars here from when I broke my leg.
Wow.
And I tore a cartilage in my ankle.
Wow.
So I got a little bit messed up. I'm all right now.
Yeah.
I still feel it.
Really?
It was a long time ago. That was 30, over 30 years ago. 31, 32 years ago.
Wow.
Marvin's been dead for 31 years now.
Wow.
I got to see a lot of things.
See the Beatles?
It was a long time ago. I seen the Beatles, I seen Paul McCartney, I seen Annie Lennox, Cyndi Lauper,
Seen the Stones? Did you see them?
The Stones.
You did see the Stones.
I seen Elton John, I seen Chicago. Ever hear of Chicago?
Yeah.
I seen Chicago, front row seats, Chicago.
That's cool.
I can't remember all of them. I seen the Everly Brothers. Ever hear of them? I seen the Everly Brothers. I can't remember all the people I've seen.
Bob Dylan?
Nope. I seen a lot of famous people too that weren't singers, like Lucy. You know Lucy? I got to see Lucy.
Hi, Phil. How's things?
Hey.
See ya. Yeah. You look healthy, hale, and hearty. The trouble is you're missing a little bit up here. The angels get it by.
Grass don't grow on a busy street. And God made a lot of heads, and the ones he didn't like, he covered up.
I like that. I never heard that one before. That's good. I'm going to use that when I bald.